Hello, listening audience. Welcome to another Toonkind at 12 frame per second. God fucking damn it. Starting off so well. My name is RJ. And I'm joined today by the wondrous, and fantastic.
Um, Hi, I am Morski, also known as Morski, and um, well, welcome to our funny little game where one of these characters is gonna have a far worse time than the other.
Someone might get stabbed. It depends on how things go.
Yeah,
Um, so, immediate spoiler warnings for, Dancing in the Shadows. Um,
because this happens pretty much right after
yeah,
that.
pretty much
It's
right after it.
it's probably the same day even as
Yeah,
Dancing in the Shadows finished.
yeah,
Like just a little bit later.
yeah. So, yeah. So I'm gonna be nice and say that Decimals had a long rest because they pretty much did go for a long rest at the end of that. Um,
Yeah, like
because primarily because I
everyone.
don't fucking remember what shit was that by the end of that. Um,
That's fair. Like, if I remember, Desmo was actually on a really good pain diet that day.
oh yeah.
That's
Oh shit. We should
that's
re-roll that.
yeah.
Unfortunately, it's
Like
not per day. It's per long rest.
yeah.
Okay, I think that's still alright. That's still alright. I think. It's a
Oh,
three. I think a shit. I think a three is the um upper limit of his lowest bound, which is
okay,
his
that's
full
good.
phrasing, but that should make sense to people who know maths. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the upper limit of his lower bound. So that's fine.
Okay,
So he's
that's good.
on
That's good.
no detriments, which is great because otherwise he'd be far more pissy. Um,
Yeah, that's fair. I'm like, at this point, I feel it's accurate to say that Hugh is fast asleep still.
Understandable.
Probably. Probably with March in like the room our lads are sharing. Um, so how's Decimal doing it at this point in time after all of that mess?
Decimal is um well the thrall got away. And uh Spy is dead ish. Um pretty dead. Pretty dead. And so is Kane mostly. But yeah, he's decompressing. That was whew, whew,
Yeah,
that was a lot. He does not want to have to catch you like that ever again. Um
understandable. That is so understandable.
Yeah, so he's probably actually meandering around Halloween Town by this point, trying to just think his way through everything that happened. Um
That is so valid of him. He's probably gonna have more to think about soon.
oh definitely.
Would your boy like to roll me an Arcana and a Perception just
You
to
want
see
this
what
man to
kind
roll
of
Arcana. Okay.
yeah.
I'll fucking try. Okay. Arcana, what's your modifier? Oh yeah, you're actually pretty smart. I forgot about that. Natural 20.
Yeah, that
um
that's kind of hilarious, but it makes sense. It makes
That's
sense, and
the Arcana. Oh, that's also really good.
uh,
Um,
wrong zone, RJ.
that's in the comment. Oh, fuck it. I'm gonna have to disable Upper for me able to type in there. Um, so that's the Arcana. Uh, what the fuck is your perception? Oh yeah, it's plus 12. And that's a
Oh,
perception.
oh, yeah. This makes sense because it's been a long time since Rina's been outside, so to say, so even if she's doing a pretty good job of hiding the whole datiness. Hey, Decimal,
Mm-hmm.
remember that really good friend of Hughes, who he's mentioned being a deity? Well, you definitely feel some kind of presence approaching you. It doesn't feel super malicious, but it does feel intense. And you look around and you see a white-haired lady, shorter than you, but that's not exactly hard, and with those big old wings that resemble Hugh's a bit, and she is walking right towards you.
Huh. Alright. Okie dokie. Um, well,
Does he just await his approach?
just he just sees this and it's just like alright, let's get this over with. He's just gonna stand there and wait.
Yeah, that's fair. She walks up, gives you a good look, and is just, "Sir, are you Decimal by any chance?"
What gave it away?
Mostly the description Hugh gave me. Look, I want to talk to you, and I can feel the divinity written into your ink. I got questions, and also I got more questions, so come on over. And she's going to walk somewhere that's like not in the middle of a crowd.
I mean, the streets are fairly quiet right now. There's not many people out. But if she's taking him to a secondary location, she's gonna need to be more persuasive than that. He is not fucking going anywhere.
Okay, yeah. Riina, how do you want to do this? Because she figures this still isn't something to like speak out right in the streets. At least go to a park. Let me just roll this real quick. So she's rolling persuasion for this, but essentially she gives you a look and is look. Either we talk about this where everyone else can hear it, or we go to a park. I
well,
heard there's
persuasion.
some nice benches to the side. Okay, let me just. That's a 26.
It is a 26. Um. Well, Riina, you're getting squinted at, but after a moment, he does, start following. Um, Notably walking relatively slowly. Kind
It's
of
okay.
playing up the cane a bit.
It's okay. She can walk slowly. She's kind of taking a moment to squint at you, and actually, you know what? She wants to roll medicine just in case.
Roll medicine. 11.
Oh, that's an 11.
That's a fucking like you get flashes of it, of the fucking state that his legs in. Like as he's walking, it's fucking bad, dude. The speed that it's honestly a surprise that he can move that leg much at all, much less to be walking around on it. But you figure that's what's the cane. What's the cane? Fucking, that is what the cane is for. There
It's
we go.
okay. Yeah.
Words in my brain not matching my mouth. Um,
Peking felt that.
Yeah, but the fact that he's moving slowly as a concession to this does make sense.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. She is admittedly just checking on the state you are in general too, leg aside, just because, well, she has a bit of an idea what's happened in those caves. Oh, but you're led to a park and just like over to one of the benches, and Rina's gonna set herself down.
He will
Does
he will keep
hmm?
standing.
Okay.
With an 11 as well, I'll give you this. Sitting down and standing up might not be the easiest when his leg flares up.
Ah, understandable. I think as well, like, while her sister is more the medic between them, she knows enough about injuries that she's just like, yeah, okay. Like, uh, she wouldn't have gone faster than Decimal was going when they walked over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
With the limited knowledge that you have, this is all like, yep, this tracks. You don't know
yep.
enough to know better.
Yeah. Um, but I think with like Rina, would you have opened up small talk? Honestly, she's just giving me that she's been giving your boy like just a lot of squinting
Okay.
as they walked over, and I imagine your boy didn't really talk much
He is
as they
completely
went,
fucking
right?
ignoring the squinting. He is just completely ignoring it. If
Yeah,
she's got an issue
okay.
with him, she can speak up like the big girl she is.
Yeah. So I think after a moment, she is going to primly put her hands on her lap and go, okay. So first of all, how did you and Hugh meet?
God, no, I'm gonna try and remember.
Well, it was fate's tangled
Yeah,
strings.
it was. Trying to think how the fuck he'd explain that.
Fair.
Predestined interference.
Do tell. The weave get its fingers into this?
No. I'm surprised he hasn't already told you the whole story.
He's been asleep a lot, so haven't been able to get a lot of the details.
And you don't visit him in his dreams? Or is that your sister's role?
Not her domains.
Interesting.
I deal more in light and purification. I suppose in theory Faye could enter someone's dreams, but we were asleep for most of that time in the stone.
And would they not make it easy to travel amongst dreams, but I digress.
Rina, how do you want to say this? So, you're the new fate of chaos. Are you one of the Weave's constructs sent to look over you, or is it just a coincidence? What's going on here?
You just get a quirked eyebrow.
It's like she's raising her own, like, well, you heard me. That much divinity in a tune you don't see everywhere. The Weave had quite a hand in making you, I can tell that much. Not even the last fate
Roll
of
insight.
chaos. Oh boy! Not even the last fate of chaos had this much intervention.
Is it plus 12? What the fuck is she? That's plus 12.
Insight,
You're gonna
you
beat
said,
this,
yes?
but
Yeah.
I just want to see what you'll get. Hey! Love those god
Yeah,
mods. Anyway,
yeah.
if you weren't a divine being, 100 fucking percent, you would not have caught this. Um, there is bafflement under that expression and a slowly growing rage. It's just embers at the moment, but it's flickering. But the primary thing that you're getting is bafflement. He does not know what the fuck you're talking about.
Okay. Admittedly, at this, Riina is going, huh? Do we truly not tell you anything? I know it's untalkative at the best of times.
The weave doesn't tell anyone anything.
That much is true, I suppose. Goodness knows the last fate I met didn't have anything good to say about it.
And which one was this?
The last fate of chaos. Air name was Rikishi.
Roll insight again. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yep.
43.
This one you can tell would probably have been caught by mortals. That that is shock. That is what the fuck. That is excuse me. You're kind of reconsidering your previous stance on Rikishi's current state, considering the fact that he definitely recognizes that name and not in a good way.
Yeah, roll me an insight on Riina.
Oh boy. I'm gonna grab a D4 for this. Ooh, that's pretty good.
You'd laugh if you knew what her deception was.
It's like I think Rina's a paladin, so I'm gonna guess a 5. Assume you
Yeah,
got
it's
maxed
a
out charisma. Yeah.
it's a plus 5. That's all.
Insight 12 plus 31.
Yeah, you definitely read this just like there's a huh and oh god, he really doesn't know about this stuff, and well, there is a story there. You have that reaction to hearing the name Rikishi, and she's just, well, most of the time when a fate dies, they don't stay around, yet you seem to recognize them.
Remember how I
How?
said Hugh and I met through predestined interference?
Yes?
Rikishi happened.
There is a pause from Riina, like,
A is the fate of ruin, not the fate of chaos.
I did not know fates could change their alignment like that. Okay.
You have to ask someone else for the story, I don't know
Hmm. Yeah.
it.
Actually,
Seems
roll
like I
me
remember
insight.
things. Roll insight?
Yeah, roll insight again.
Not as good, but still pretty good. 28.
Yeah. That's still way more than Rina could roll on deception. She's surprisingly open. Like, you're reading this lady, and it's just, she's surprisingly open for a deity. Like, you can tell she has hidden amongst mortals a lot, you know? But following off of that, it's just like, damn, I can't believe the bastard's still alive. I still kind of want to punch him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when earlier it sounded like you were going to say something more.
Don't worry about it.
Well, I suppose if that's the case, then I suppose he decided to follow you after that meeting.
That's a polite way to put it.
She snorts. She's honestly relaxed a little bit. Um, well, I suppose then we'll have only a few. Well, I only have a few last questions for this then. Um, what are your intentions for now?
Well, that's a broad question. Any particular lens you want me to speak that through, or
I don't mind. Mostly I want to make sure he will be okay.
if he comes to harm, it won't be my doing. Not intentionally, at least.
Riina nods at that. I'll hold on to that then.
Honestly, you should be more concerned about the boy's own ability to get in trouble.
You're telling me. Then again, his whole family's like that.
Ugh. Massages the bridge of his nose. Just like,
No, really, you should have met the first script. I wasn't even the first deity that guy met.
Ha. It's much the same with him.
Hmm? Oh,
Let me just say there's a reason that Lynn refers to him as the deity capybara.
well, I'll see. I'll certainly have a lot of stories to hear from him then. And what about you on your end?
Would you like to finish that question, or
Well, chaos isn't always the easiest thing to deal with.
chaos is chaos, it does what it wants?
That much is true.
Is there a reason you dragged me
Oh,
out here and not, say, March or Gregory?
yes.
He just rolls his hand like, go on.
It's just like, well, the amount of the weave's influence I can feel on you is suspicious, and I'm going to be real with you. You are shady as fuck.
I try.
So I wanted to get a better read on you before I let things continue on.
Before you let things continue on. How arrogant. Then again, I suppose I should have expected that.
He just shrugs.
You truly think you can control Hugh that much?
Obviously not. But if you were going to do something,
I would have already done
well,
it by
not
now.
like that much is true, I suppose. Well, I suppose I've asked a few of my own questions. Do you have any?
What the fuck did you mean by the Weave's construct?
Let me, the player, go reread what you put down. Because I need to remember.
You can roll a history and arcana of your own if you'd like.
Yes,
I'll give you
please.
advantage.
Yes, please, and thank you. That's going to be Arcana.
Oakley dokley.
Vertifer.
33. Okie dokie. So, um, yeah, so, this much divinity in a tune's ink is indicative usually of one of two things. One, this is a deity's mortal form. Or two, this is a tune created by a deity as opposed to, being created from inspiration the normal way. Given that the weave doesn't go for the whole mortal vessel thing, um, it's probably option two. It's probably option
Yeah. Yeah. And Riina will tell him that. Um, she's just going to straight up tell him that.
two.
I don't particularly know your story or how it came to be that this happened, but you were directly created by the weave.
I'm going to assume that that is because of the full redesigns that the weave has done. Because if it is true, and that I was fully created by the weave, I'm going to have to punch something.
Roll insight again. Because she's not going to say this, but she is definitely thinking that, yeah, no,
33.
yep. You do, like, read on her face that, yeah, no, it's very likely that it's not just because of the redesign.
Would you excuse me just for a moment? And then he
Can
walks
do.
off. Roll
She'll wait
perception.
on the. She's just going to chill out on this bench in the meantime. Riina, what's your perception again? Right, it's a 27.
42. Yeah, no, you fully
Yeah.
hear this. He walks away, to the point where you can't hear his footsteps, so maybe like 100 feet away. And then there's a fucking explosion and a flash of red light, and he reappears in front of you, and just casually, adjusts his gloves. Thank you for that.
No problem. I figure it's fair after the news you've gotten. Honestly, Riina is just handing me just sitting here like, man, what does she say after this? There isn't really any way better she could have said this. But like, well.
Yeah, there's really not a better way for her to say this. Um,
Um, well, I can say you've certainly given me a good enough impression. Nice to know that Hugh's intuition is still spot on.
you should really trust the boy. He might be an idiot sometimes, but his senses are on point when it counts.
She gives you a nod and, yeah, but I can't help but worry. Even if 2 years isn't long for an immortal, a lot can happen in that time.
I suppose that's fair.
Oh, thanks for looking out for him.
Oh, please. He doesn't need me. I need to point out where his rather large blind spots would trip him up.
Well, no, he doesn't need you, but it's clear enough that he does want you around.
Can't fathom why.
Mm-hmm. Well, I suppose I'll find out why myself in time. We're probably going to meet more.
Joy of joys.
Don't worry, this is probably the last of the groundbreaking information I have.
Oh, you say that now.
There is a pause and just, okay, so I jinxed it, but we'll deal
Oh,
with
you
that whenever
definitely.
it comes.
You said an inciting phrase in front of the fate of chaos. You've almost certainly jinxed it.
Okay, true, true.
Yay.
Well, I suppose that'll come when it's time for it to come.
Hmm.
Uh,
I don't know
I
how
sup-
well.
you go first.
I don't know how well you knew Rikishi, but if you want to speak to him, they're locked in the plane of ruin.
I see.
Though, I would recommend going to speak to Death and Peace before you go charging in there. They're the ones currently keeping Airbound, being the only other two fates. So, let them know before you go upsetting the balance.
Yeah, I will. Well, I guess you'd be rather curious. I didn't particularly know Rikishi for long, but they came into East one time while I was out and about in town. We had a bit of a squabble, but that was that.
Somehow that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, bastards kept dodging my stick.
Somehow that doesn't surprise me either.
Hmm. With their rude mouth, I wanted to whack them on the head. But
Good
that's
to,
about that.
good to know they've always been kind of an asshole.
Hmm.
Their idea of a good time was to pull five unsuspecting idiots into airplane to force them to relive their most traumatic memories over and over and over again until they broke.
I
Thankfully, it
see.
wasn't expecting me, and I accidentally brought someone else along. So,
Okay. Considering you've consistently rolled insight, you can just see this. Like you think when Rina is able to talk to Peace and the Frikishi is going to have a little bit more than a stick thrown at their air face. Just maybe. Oh.
that does get a quiet smile from him.
if there's something these two can agree on, it's violence upon Rikishi, I suppose.
True. He
Um,
shifts his weight slightly, um, kind of looking away from Riina, and goes, "Did you know that he came here to try and find a way to free you?"
you cut out on me a bit. Could you repeat that, please?
He said, "Did you know that he came here to try and find a way to free you?"
Uh,
And given your high insight, he's basically going, "Do you know how loyal Hugh is to you? Do you appreciate that?"
yeah, yeah. Rena looks upon that, and it's just quiet. Yeah, I know. I'm hoping I won't have to put him through that again. Really should have done better in those caves. And you would get that she's referring to the fight she and Faye had with Kane and the Darkness.
Hmm. Allegedly, so Hugh tells me, you did the best that you could. I don't believe that. But I suppose I have to be grateful for it. If you had done better and done your jobs right the first time around, he wouldn't have come here.
There's some good and the bad, but
Oh, silver
also
lining.
she's but also she's giving you a bit of a knife cat face and haha, you are fond of him.
Only ever surreptitiously, my dear.
Of course, of course. So you say.
So I do. And you should be grateful for that either. Without me, I dare say he would be a darkness beast by now.
Yes.
You're welcome. Kind of just like leaning on his cane, with the other hand in his pocket, sassily raising an eyebrow at you.
Yes, thank you for getting him out of there.
I try.
I want you to know Decibel has successfully riled up Rina's instinct to get a stick, whack.
Does she actually go to pull out a stick?
mm, you can see her considering it, but like she's wait, like she figures maybe not right now while they're having this conversation after.
He very casually shifts his weight to be able to sprint if he needs to.
Mm. Okay, yeah. She became just slightly smugger. Um,
I mean, we could fight, but I don't think it'd be fair. And we'd probably piss off the inhabitants of this town.
yeah. The mayor and his husband were rather nice for letting me stay for a little bit. Wouldn't want to encroach on that hospitality. Also, I feel like Kara would be rather upset with me.
Oh, almost certain if she likes me.
Ah,
One trickster recognizes another and all that.
yeah, that explains a few things.
Oh.
Mostly Irina is just thinking on when we were walking here. it seemed like she was trying to trip you up less.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly
Yeah.
she's amused. Well, I certainly don't mind my own fair share of chaos. Not good if things are stagnant.
No, definitely not. A little chaos is always good.
Hmm? And it certainly sounds like you lot have lived through quite a bit in recent times.
You should check out Lynn's boards sometimes. A lot of it's
Oh?
Aquafina, but some of it's on the right track.
Oh, do tell.
He just taps the
I.
side of his nose.
Alright, alright. So, I suppose while we're here, he was most. He mostly was just able to tell me a bit about you and a bit about March. Didn't hear too much about Craigie and Lynn. What are they like?
They're both fucking nuts, the pair of them. They're made for each other.
Ah,
Tell me,
I see, I see.
how caught up are you with Anquillian news?
Not very. I I have news from 2 years ago, and I've picked up on a couple bits and pieces uh, that have happened in, I guess, the last couple months. Hugh has just told me enough that he's been doing well and that he's been with you in March. But aside from that, I'm still catching up on things.
Hmm. Well, when you find out about the giant Thormavor Jella, that was Gregory.
Okay, yeah. It's if Riina was drinking something, she would have choked. But she's, hmm. I see. I'll have a lot of interesting things to find out about.
Oh, certainly. Though, hmm,
Hmm?
how much information can you get on things that
Well,
might be hidden from the public eye?
you cut out again. I'm afraid. Please repeat.
He asked how much information Riina can get on things that might be hidden from the public eye.
Ah, Riina stops and thinks a bit. Depends on what information that is. I do have ways to find out what's happening from other deities, and you find out information when you run a town.
What do you know about a being known as the Thrall?
Well, time for me to roll history. Because that is a legit question. Rena probably knows about them, but, like, I highly doubt that they've interacted.
Oh no, almost definitely not.
Exactly. The Frel has more self preservation than that.
Ha! 7! Not
Oh
a
my
lot!
good. Yeah. It's just like, yeah, Rena is like, afraid I don't know much about them. I have the sense that they've been trying to avoid town or any sort of interaction with Faye and I.
Makes sense.
I
They,
know that they exist and that they deal in information, but that's about it.
they are the ones who kidnapped Hugh and brought him to Cain in exchange for
I
knowledge on the
see.
darkness. And Hugh isn't the only person they've kidnapped either.
I see. Um, shall I roll insight to see if she catches on to Decimal being one of the ones taken?
I mean, This would actually probably be history rather than insight. Um,
Okay. Well, let's try this again. Riina is adding guidance to this.
11.
Wow. Riina, you're so great at. This
God.
makes sense. She was in a stone statue, but oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
you think maybe you mentioned other people you don't remember any names.
Hmm. You will like see Riina pause, and it's just. Hmm. I had the sense there were more, though I don't know who specifically.
Thus far. Four. Is it four?
Yeah, he was the fourth
Yeah,
nickel.
four.
And I don't think anyone. Well, fifth hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, fifth hasn't happened yet.
So, four.
He was the latest one. Two were taken at relatively close times. The third one happened a little bit after. The
Not
first
good
one,
that they've been up and taking people.
well, the first one seemingly had no relation. The second one was taken for his knowledge, and the third one was taken for his ability to retain knowledge. And then Hugh was taken for a deal.
Hmm. Knowledge seems to be the tying point for a lot of these. I'll see what I can find out on them.
I
If you would
imagine
all
it.
be alright with it, I'd like to rope my sister into this too. She's a bit better with finding information discreetly.
By all means, let Hugh know what you found, and Hugh can pass it on to the rest of us.
Will do. We'll keep an eye out.
Given your opposing influences, I doubt you'll be able to find much, but
Hmm. Still, more eyes are better than less. Do any of know more about why this has been happening?
I think the best person to ask that question would be Gregory.
Uh, End of your sentence cut out. Did you say Gregory?
Yeah, he did say Gregory.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, Rena is nodding and noting that down.
Just don't ambush him like you did with me. He would not take that well, and Lynn would not take that well, and then you'd have to deal with the rest of Halloween Town not taking it well.
But what's a better way to do this? I guess knocking on the door. I just came and walked up to you.
Yes, make an appointment with Lynn. Speak to her.
Okay.
And then speak to Gregory. Lynn is rather protective of her paramour.
They're quite close, huh? Well, I'll be sure to remember that, thank you.
If you had been any sneakier, I probably would have buried a knife in your throat, just a heads up.
Ah, well, good to know. Would have been kind of awkward meeting like that.
Oh, almost certainly. I hate apologizing for things.
Hmm, had the feeling that was the case.
If you want someone with a fatal fall of wrath, go talk to the monkey. Mine's pride.
Yeah, Riina just snorts. Alright, I'll keep that in mind. I'm probably going to leave in a couple days. I would just like to keep an eye on Hugh a little bit more. Make sure his recovery goes okay.
Are you going to make him return to youth?
No. His life's his own, no?
Roll insight again.
Sure. I'm so glad she has disgusting insight.
Yeah. Again, you get the sense if you were anyone other than yourself, probably wouldn't have got it. But a line of tension does leave his shoulders as you say that.
Aw. Okay, yeah, that's entirely fair of Decimal. Like, all of his meetings with deities by now have just been bad, bad, and worse.
Yeah.
Like, for all the stress, and essentially it was like, for all the stress of, like, the beginning of this conversation, I think Rina's been pretty reasonable.
Mm-hmm. Decimal is what I like to call D&D atheist, which is he knows that gods exist. He does not think any of them are worth his worship. Um Basically,
That's fair.
fuck all of y'all. I respect none of you assholes. And this has not changed. This will not change. But there is kind of uh, uh, not an approval, not a respect, but kind of like a grudging, tacit, um, peace treaty. We'll go with that.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
not gonna start shit if you don't start shit.
that works for her. Like, honestly speaking, she respects that. Like, and you have proven to be decent, so, like, yeah, okay. Peace treaty sounds good. They might not be friendly with each other, but they can be neutral with each other at least.
Yeah.
She gives an approving nod. Well, I think I'm going to return to the manor. Would you like to come with, or you're going to wander some more?
I think I'll wander some more. You've given me a lot to think about, and I don't do well stewing.
Understandable. Well, thank you for being truthful as we talked. And she will head off.
Roll perception. And I assume Riina speaks Grolix.
Yes, yes, she does.
Okay, roll perception.
Pardon?
Roll perception.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, no, you easily get this. As she moves off and he moves off, there is a quiet grumbled, yeah, flaunt your fucking god sight. In Growlix.
She's there. It's like you obviously don't see it, but Trina's just knife cat facing. Well, time to peace on out.
Mm-hmm. Like, he knows how good of a liar he is. He knows that if you weren't a fucking god, you probably would have missed a lot of what he wasn't saying.
Yeah. But oh well. You had to deal with being read at decimal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. But I think with that, thank you very much for the FPS.
No
That was
worries, yo.
fun.
That was good.
And to everyone who's listening both now and in the future, you are awesome. Bye bye.
See ya.